Rahubat, Rahubat, you saw it, Rahubat. This is probably gonna be an extensive video. Uh, it's a lot of stuff I want to address, a lot of stuff I want to explain. I'm gonna be extremely detailed because the division, the separation, the disunity, the corruption, all this stuff has got to stop. Okay, it's got to stop. And the reason it's going on is because people don't want to deal with the facts. People want to be religious still. People want to turn these teachings, this spiritual science, this guidance into a religion. That's something that is not, can never be. It can never be. I'm going to prove that. I'm going to explain some stuff that a lot of the slanderers talk about, that I deal with on a daily basis as a debater and as a defender of the sacred spiritual science of Wunuwap. I'm going to be addressing that. The 76 trillion years of information issue, we're going to be addressing that. It's Nuwapu religion, we're going to be addressing that. What's going on with the organization, we're going to be addressing that. And everything that I have knowledge of, I'm going to address with you today. Nothing that I'm going to address with you is going to be about, let me say this, nothing I'm going to address with you is going to be about anything other than something that what I know personally or have studied or have evidence about. Okay, I'm not giving you my personal opinion. I'm not giving you what I believe. I'm not giving you what somebody else gave me. Let me say that again. I'm not giving you what somebody else gave me. I'm not talking about secondhand information. We're talking about firsthand, real deal information. So let's go ahead and get into it, because like I said, this is going to be an extensive breakdown, fact check, all that. It's kind of gloomy this morning in the hills. Been raining a little bit. Anyway, let's get started. Because the division, the disunity, the distrust, the corruption, all that stuff has got to stop, and the record is about to be set straight right now. This is from audio back in 2004, 2005. Actually, it was 2004. Isle of Patmos. Something I reference a lot, because the reason I reference this a lot is because this is actually Doc speaking himself. Because prior to a couple years ago, he used to call and write letters. You could write him, he would write you back. They would release the audios of the updates and everything like that, and it just stopped all of a sudden. But let's start with this. We right here at 11 minutes and 39 seconds.
Spell is a self-destructive spell of ignorance. You follow? And the whole trip is to self-righteousness. So most of the people there who are responsible for the spell think they're out of the spell. They're not. And a lot of people are still under the spell, and that's why they're putting money in front of everything they're standing for. Everybody's trying to figure out ways to make a hustle out of this. How can I get a...
He said the Nuwapians are still under a spell. That's why it's all about money and them trying to figure out how to make a hustle out of this. This was in 2004 now. I'm about to prove something. This was in 2004. He was talking about corruption in the tribe. I'm about to prove something. Let's continue.
Pledges. How can I get this? And then, and then when someone stops it, they get mad. They go attack the person, which namely was a Rochelle or Rick. They go after them and attack them. You know what I'm trying to say? Yes. Because of the fact that they're benevolently attacking the person, they're attacking the spell, the dollar bill, the power of the owl and the dollar bill. They worship the almighty dollar. So everybody wants to go off, organize their own thing.
He said that they worship the dollar bill. It's all about money. He said they've been trying to make money off of my books, off of my information, off of my teachings, off of flags, off of shirts, off of hats, off of everything now. Listen. Give me a sip of that Folgers. Listen up now.
Set it up. If all of them make money off of people, look like a leader, look powerful, set a program. They're mad because they got plans and things. I got plans I want to do, and it doesn't work with what we're doing. I think it's propagation to make fishes a man. I think it's to wake up our people. People want to do things on the side, little music ideas on the side, little hustles on the side, clothes on the, anything on the side. But and then they'll use it as an excuse to say, well, dang, I'm using this because I want to reach people. In actuality, all they're interested in is money.
You heard that?
Yes, and plus they'll just create, come to you with all kinds of new plans.
You heard that? He said they will come up with all kind of ideas and hustles, music, clothes, any kind of idea. And he said they will say they're using this to help Pop. But he said really they just using it to make money on the side. Listen again. Listen.
An idea. And then we get mad and say they don't want to accept my
Watch this.
ideas on the side,
Little hustles.
powerful. Set a program. They're mad because they got plans and things. I got plans I want to do, and it doesn't work with what we're doing. I think it's propagation to make fishes of men. I think it's to wake up our people. People want to do things on the side, little music ideas on the side, little hustles on the side, clothes, anything on the side. And then they'll use it as an excuse to say, well, dang, I'm using this because I want to reach people with actuality. All they're interested in the money. You follow? Yes. And plus they'll just come to you with all kinds of new plan idea. And then when you get mad, they say they don't want to accept my idea. It's your idea because your idea's got to do with money, ain't got to do with saving no souls. Like just because a person puts a hat on that you make, that ain't saving your soul.
Woo!
I think it's
Hold on. Did you hear that? He said just because a person put on a hat that you make don't mean they're about saving souls. Man, listen, this was in 2004. This was in 2004. He had only been kidnapped 2 years at that time. 2 years, that's it. Let's continue.
Out the making of the devil to break the spell. Right. People are still under the spell. We already passed the year 2000. It's the year 2004 where the devil's ruler up. He lost all his powers now. Every day you see he's losing power. He's weakening and weakening and weakening.
He explained that, right? This was in 2004. Now watch this. This is the problem right here. This is from Patarak the Way Division, verses 7 through 25. This Patarak came out recently, like a couple years ago, probably maybe 5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. Patarak Division. Listen, let's watch what he's saying. This is what they put out now. The Book Room in Brooklyn. This is the information that the Book Room in Bushwick, Brooklyn puts out. The Book Room and the administration in Bushwick, Brooklyn are in control of the doctrine of Dr. Malachi York, period. Okay, so we already showed back here in 2004 where he explained how people in the organization was using the information to make money and not really trying to get them out. This was in 2004. Fast forward to about 2015, let's say. Patarak the Division, verse 7 through 25. Let's read. I have been informed that there is much quarreling amongst you as to who is true, who can be trusted, who is devoted, who is following Wu Nuwap to the letter, who is changing my words to you into their own words. Okay, so that's number one. He's saying that people are changing his words. Okay, next verse. 12. Who is trying to explain and interpret my word their way. This means that there are people who are trying to interpret his words in their own way. Verse 13. Who is trying to mix old schools of religion with what you hold now in your hands as Wu Nuwap. That means they're trying to mix religion back into Wu Nuwap. 14. Some who claim to speak for me. I personally heard Mario Jessup say and saw on Facebook where he said, I am the voice of Panabab Yanun. That's what he said. And he said it in front of other people. And the people who was there and seen him said, no, I ain't gonna call them out because I don't want to put nobody in there. This is me. I heard Mario Jessup say, I am the voice of Panabab Yanun. Meaning, whatever he say, Panabab Yanun said goes. Now, we know about this already. What is this? This is Paulism. This is what Paul did. Bukhari and all the hadiths. This is hadith. This is secondhand information. But this is what he said now. Pay attention. Some who claim to speak for me. Some who claim they know what I wish to say. Some who claim they know what I plan for our tribe. and some who pretend to be of us to use you to profit from. Do you understand what this is saying? Does everybody understand what this is saying? Because we have to know what this is saying. This is saying the same thing that he said back in 2004. I'm going to play it one more short time, just for the people that just now tapping in. Rahul Bat, peace everybody, so y'all can hear it. Listen.
Make fish is amazing. I think it's to wake up our people. People want to do things on the side, little music ideas on the side, little hustles on the side, clothes on the anything on the side. But then, and then they'll use it as an excuse and say, well, dang, I'm using this because I want to reach people with naturality. Only interested in the money. You follow? Yes. And plus they'll just come to you with all kinds of plans. I got a new plan idea. And then when you get mad, they say they don't want to accept my idea. It's your idea because your idea's got to do with money. Ain't got to do with saving no souls.
So we was back in 2004 listening to him explain how people was using the doctrine to make money and not concerned on getting him out of prison. And we see it right now again, and recently, some who pretend to be of us to use you to profit from. So who are the people that's asking for these donations? Who are the people that's asking for these donations and promising things in exchange for these donations? Who are the people that's been donating for years and haven't accomplished anything? Who are the people that's been asking for donations for years and selling books and selling merchandise and running shit and don't work a 9 to 5 and haven't accomplished nothing when it comes to this man's freedom? You ask yourself. If you don't know, you need to find out. If you don't know, you need to find out. I'm keeping this 100% calm. I'm keeping this 100% civilized. These are the facts. You need to get the facts. This was from 2004. Ask yourself, who are the people that's still around, that's been around back then while others have come and gone, that's still here and still in control today? It's 4 main ones. 2 of them are female. The other 2 are men. Ask yourself. First it was Rochelle. She was the agent. They got rid of her. Okay, everything should be fine. They got rid of Rick. Oh, okay, everything should be fine. Harvard Hotep left. Okay. Nifu Amun Hotel. Oh, she did this. She did that. All these people who they accused of doing things and they kicked out and they said, well, now everything should be better because the agents are gone. And it's still not. But same people around that's calling the shots. But I'm crazy. But he said it. Let's move on. Another issue I want to deal with is what he's saying right here in verse 13. Who is trying to mix old schools of religion with what you hold now in your hands as Wu Nuwa. Alright. This is the newest, latest edition that been released about the symbol. Okay. Verse 147. We as Nagadu Negroes, children of the sun, Melanite children in tune with natural nature, that is our religion. That is our religion. Right? That's what it says here. Okay? But the one before that, and at the top, they put Wu Sabat in red. Wu Sabat. But in our canon that they haven't still released, if you have it, you probably got it from somebody. I have it, but they haven't put it out because there's a lot of stuff in there that they disagree with, and they changed just like this. This is what they changed. This is from the Nuwapian Holy Canon. The true Nuwapian has no name, title, only Nuwapian. That means Nuwapian is not a name or a title. No belief, no religion, only Wu Nuwap. No belief, no religion, only Wu Nuwap. Right? So why back here does it say, call it a religion? Why are they calling it a religion now? Say no nation, only 9 ether. Natural nature said not even a nation anymore. Why would he say that? Because they destroyed the nation already. So we have to move in a different way now. You think you're going to listen, you think they're going to destroy Tamarada and let you rebuild it in the same place? No, that's not going to happen. Watch. Not a cult or organization or new sect or new religion. Not a cult, not an organization or sect or new religion, only animism. We are animists, a tribe of original persons with our original ancient culture and language. So that right there totally contradicts this, saying that this is our religion. See? We are a nation. The other one said we wasn't a nation no more. Why? Because they destroyed our nation. It's easy. You can't make the same mistakes twice. So when we look at the, let's look at also, let's go back here one more time and look at this as well. Number 13, who is trying to mix old schools of religion with what you hold now in your hands as Wunuwap. Alright. So what we know for a fact is Nuwapu is not a religion. In fact, this is something I posted today from the Holy Tablets. It say, the preacher and imam is non-productive religious parasite who preys on the poor, the gullible, and the unreasonable in underdeveloped communities by stirring up their emotions and deceiving the people about heaven after death. Now, what you got to understand right there is talking about the same people that's misleading people for monetary gain into any kind of belief system. Any kind of belief system, period. Okay. Let's go to Breaking the Spell, page Breaking the Spell, page 70. Breaking the Spell, page 70. Says, I cannot stress to you enough, do not accept, do not believe anything is true if it has not been proven to you beyond a shadow of a doubt. Anything. So when you start to ask questions and people get angry, when you ask questions to a Nuwapian or say being, they get angry with you, that person doesn't know what they're talking about. Because we actually pride ourselves in the Q&A platform, teaching platform. We have been teaching the Q&A platform since Dr. York started these teachings in the 60s. Question and answer, because question and answer is the most effective process to stimulate the mind, to spark the brain synapses by asking questions and receiving answers. If you're just sitting and listening to somebody dictate to you, you're not really learning. But when you're in the question and answer process, it makes you involved. I ask questions, people get mad at me. Why? This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what the books tell me to do. Let's talk about it again. Is Nuwapu a belief system? If Sabians are Nuwapians. Let's get this clear. Sabians are Nuwapians. Doc said you can call yourself whatever you want to and still be a Nuwapian. Because they can't get away from that. You can't get away from the word anyway. And you can't get away from the meaning, what it is. You can't. Actual facts say that Sabaism is part of the spiritual science of the ancient Egyptians called Nun. Nun is Nuwapu. Nuwapu. It's not a religion. Let's get back into it. It can't be a religion. I'm going to show you why. It cannot be a religion. It's impossible for this to be a religion. Here it is again. Religious blindness, a whole chapter, a whole little section in the AEO scroll. Don't try to be religious. Have the truth confirmed, and then you will be right. This is the order of Ma'at. The word Ma'at means that which is straight, right, true, sincere, honest, just. You can't be religious and be Ma'at because religious have to do with blindness and belief, which is not straightforward, right, truth. It's not on point. It's not factual. All right. Let's go right here. the point being, we Egyptian Nuwapians don't have a religion. It's our way of life, our culture. Call us a cult if you will. You will only be revealing how ignorant you are of the word cult, cultivate, cultivation, from the cultivators of our cultural way of life, cultured by our ancestors in ancient Egypt. Okay? We don't have a religion. There's no word. Let me talk about this. The Zam part. Let me see if I can pull this up too. Zam really doesn't mean religion. Zam means opinion. In Dr. York's rendition of it, it means opinion, right? And he explained this in the book, My Brother the Extraterrestrial. He said we don't have a word for religion in our language. He said the closest you could get to it is Zam, which would mean like your religious opinion. Right? So that's the closest word we can use to express what it is, because a religion is an opinion. But in the ancient Medunetta, the root A-A-M, the root of Zam, means to bind, which is, the same meaning in the Latin and stuff, to tie, to bind, or whatever. Now you can interpret that to tie down, to hold down in a bad way, or to bind, to link you. There's many ways you can interpret it. But the definitions don't match what it is. You can't write books exposing religion and then say you are religion. How that look? How does that look? Looks crazy. And lastly, let's hear himself say that it's not a religion. This is from the Isle of Patmos tapes, the Nuwapian Facts.
Okay. Yeah. It has nothing to do with religion. Nuwapians are not a religion in any form or fashion. Okay. Now, anything you want to call yourself is still being Nuwapian. That's why I'm not going to tell them what Nuwapian means, because they think they know. Okay. Yeah. Nuwapian has nothing to do with religion. Nuwapians are not a religion in any form or fashion. Okay. Now, anything you want to call yourself is still being Nuwapian. That's why I'm not going to tell them what Nuwapian means, because they think they know. Okay. Yeah. Not a religion in any form or fashion. Okay. Now, anything you want to call yourself is still being Nuwapian. That's why I'm not going to tell them what Nuwapian means, because they think they know. Okay. Yeah. Nuwapian has nothing to do with religion. Nuwapians are not a religion in any form or fashion.
I don't think I need to repeat that again. I don't think I need to explain that. I don't think I need to repeat that again. I don't think I need to explain that. Moving forward. These are just some things I really wanted to explain, because it's you have to really know this stuff, because you can get into anything and not really know it and kind of misinterpret it or misrepresent it. It happens. But when you get to the root and the origin, I mean, you have to know what this thing is about. Here's another key point. This is for the slanderers as well. A lot of the slanderers like to say, Dr. York did this, Dr. York did that, that there's errors in the doctrine, there's errors in the teachings, contradictions, just stuff that they, whatever beef they got with what's in the books. In some of the books, some of the stuff they point out, Chuck Morgan and all that, and don't understand or overstand the detailed information about the different schools of thought that the master teacher went through, which he said this back in the 70s. He told the Ansars, he said, I'm not going to keep you in Islam forever, period. He said one day it won't be even safe to call yourself a Muslim, speaking about all the terrorist acts and stuff that happened. We're gonna show, I was in a little mini debate with a guy on Facebook, an ex-Nuwapian, and he was talking about Dr. York knows everything. Dr. York said he knows everything, but he don't. I said, Dr. York never said he know everything. Never. He never said he know everything. He said, well, what about the 76 trillion years of knowledge? You can't say you got 76 trillion years of knowledge and don't know everything. I said, now you're assuming. I told him, I said, now you are assuming. Hold on. I told him, I said, now you're assuming. And I said, do you even know what the 76 trillion year thing explained? It started with Elijah Muhammad. Started with Elijah Muhammad, right? I'm going to break this down real quick. I'm going to break this down. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break this down real quick, the 76 trillion years. Because people need to know that. Everybody need to know that. I'm trying to equip you guys with the right knowledge to be able to stand on your toes against these fake, phony wannabes and against the slanderers at the same damn time. Period. I'm Khonsu. I'm a war. I got a warrior spirit. This is me. This is me. I'm Khonsu. I got a warrior spirit. Period. But let me get y'all straight. Let me get y'all straight real quick. Watch this. It's in the book, Behold, I will send you Elijah. What Elijah explained about the 76 trillion years. I'm going to start with that. If I can find it. Should be here. I just was looking at it the other day. Let me see if I saved it. Hell no. Hold on, let me find it. I got it right here. I want to show this, and then I'm going to play a clip of what Doc meant when he explained what 76 trillion years of time meant. Watch this. It's got to be right here. I got it right here. Okay. This is Malachi will send you Elijah book. Alright. $50,000 years. 2,000 years. Tribe of Shabazz. Should be right here. Where's the part about 76 trillion years? Hold on, let me find it, man. I think I might have passed it. Let me see. Every 400 years. Let me go back up. I know I ain't go this far last time. Tribe of Shabazz. 2,000 years. Holy Quran. 50,000 years. $25,000 year cycle. Should be close to here. Right here. We have no exact record of it, but it runs way into the trillions. He taking me back into around 76 trillion years of the universe. But I'm not saying that we are taking in that particular history this hour. We taking in the history of the past 6,000 years and 50,000 years, and we don't care to take up any further back. It is not absolutely necessary to do so. Did you see that right there? Listen to this, Nuwapians and Sapiens. Listen to this clearly. The master teacher clearly explained that he was the reformer, the mujaddid, and that his duty was to reform the teachings that came before him. This is the teaching that came before him, explaining 76 trillion years of information and time, right? 76 trillion years of time and information, right? Now watch this. This is what Elijah explained. We don't, we go back to that about 50,000 year period, and we don't care to go back any further because it's not absolutely necessary to do so. He's saying that at that point in time, it wasn't necessarily necessary to do so. Right? This is from Elijah. Right? Now watch this. This is what Doc said during the Ansar school when asked the question about the 76 trillion years. He said, "We do not have death in our abode. We have surpassed death. That's why I say I was around 76 trillion years. The ability to incarnate is something that you will learn too." This was 1987 True Light class. The ability to incarnate is something that you will learn too. So obviously this is something that has to do with time and incarnations and accessing information throughout the time, which is what he basically saying is you can go far back in order to be tapped into these vaults of information. That's basically what it's saying. Now I want to show one more right here. Hold on. Oh shit. What happened? Hold on. Okay, here we go. Get back to it. Let me see if I can pull up this picture real quick. It won't let me show this picture, but the picture says, "I saw so much and they downloaded 76 trillion years of their time into my mind. I knew things." He said they downloaded 76 trillion years of information into my mind and I knew things. He didn't say I know all things. Plus, he said that when he received this information, he still has to go back and cross-reference it to make sure it's mathematically accurate himself. I'm going to play that too. This is not spooky. Even if a person says that they're receiving information from a mental plane or from beings or from spirits or their ancestors are talking through them, which is common in African culture, what he's saying is you still want to verify that information because you may be hearing information or maybe getting information from beings that you think might be related to you or you think might be connected to you but really not. So he basically saying you still have to cross-reference this information even if you are a medium for the spirit realm. Now that's rare. That's rare that you hear mediums say that. But let's play this real quick and move on. Because I want to hit a lot of key points. I want y'all to be able to use this video, the information in this video, and the information that I can present to set the record straight and set the facts straight. Because that's all we about. You can keep the religious fairy tales and the pipe dreams. Let's listen.
But we do not die in our bones. We've surpassed death. That's why I said I was around 76 trillion years. The ability to incarnate is something that you'll learn too. We don't have death.
Let's play that again.
Away all tears from their eyes. That's why I told you don't fear. And there shall be no more death, because you'll have eternal life. We do not die in our bones. We've surpassed death. That's why I said I was around 76 trillion years. The ability to incarnate is something that you'll learn too.
One more time.
Have death.
One more time. I want y'all to hear this.
Away all tears from their eyes. That's why I told you don't fear. And there shall be no more death, because you'll have eternal life. We do not die in our bones. We've surpassed death. That's That's why I said I was around 76 trillion years. The ability to incarnate is something that you'll learn too.
The ability to incarnate is something that you will learn too. Remember, this man has always said his job was to make you as he was, just like their Jesus said in their Bible. The things I do, ye too shall do. That's why in the Black Book Part 1, he said, you masters of Nuwapo. He said, you are masters. The Neb order, Neb in Metaneta means master. So he knows that there are people out here that are masters of the information. But from what I've been seeing, these people who are masters of the information, and I'm not saying that I am, these people who are masters of the information are not in the triad. They're not in the teaching position. They being shunned away to the back. We don't even have a triad no more. Of course, we don't have a priest order. Priest order got shut down. All right, so let that be known about the 76 trillion years. That does not mean that he knows everything, and that's not what Elijah explained. That's not what he explained. The 76 trillion years of information is the ability to tap back that far into the Akashic records or into the mental reservoir. That's what that is. That's because he said you too. The ability to incarnate is something that you will learn too. And of course, we know that once we make it through, if we make it through the judgment hall of Asar, if we make it through the Duat, if we make it through the 9 gates, and if we make it through the process of transmutation or death, that we will have the ability to reach what's called eternal life. What eternal life simply means that you have reached the highest state of existence and can incarnate at will back into the physical realm. These are called ascended masters. That's why you have certain people of certain cultures, of certain races, of certain languages, of certain times that have the ability to access a certain amount of deep information to help guide humanity. These people range from all races. I ain't even got to go through them. Just think back and you'll figure it out. Alright, so the 76 trillion years is nothing spooky. He's not saying that he knows everything. That's not what that means. I wanted to correct that. Oh, yeah. This is what I wanted to correct too. The issue with the books, right? It's like this. I'm gonna explain it like this. The issue with the books is, if you go back to what Doc said here, what I showed earlier from the Patadak division. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, from Patadak division, right? If what he's telling you, right? If he's telling you himself in verse 11, who is changing my words to you into their own words, trying to explain and interpret my word their way, who is trying to mix old schools of religion with what you hold in your hands now, Zunuwa. If he's saying that, right, then that means that in the new books, listen to this clearly. This is sound, right reasoning. Listen clearly. He's saying in the new books that they putting out, the division, in that book, he said that people are changing his words and trying to interpret his words and trying to mix religion back with what you hold in your hands, which is the book. Trying to mix religion with the new books. That's what he's saying. So it's no coincidence that now they're calling it a religion. It's no coincidence. But the problem is, by us reading the books and he's saying that people are changing the books, now we're like, damn. If in the same books they putting out, he's saying that they're changing it, what does this mean? This means we have to sift through the books with a fine-tooth comb, just like we did with the old books, just like he taught us to do with everything else. And it ain't about, it's about if it's factual or not. Period. I don't have an issue with the new books. I read the new books. I know it's coming from him. I know that the information in it links back with the old information. I know that it all ties together. I don't like how the books put together. They too small. They're poorly put together. Not enough sources, not enough references, not enough, stuff like that. Also, the problem that I have is the religious aspect. Calling it a religion when it's not. It makes us look stupid as hell. And then another thing, let's talk about this. Haru Hotep, right? Haru Hotep said back in the day that we have to stop calling ourselves Nuwapians because of the connotations with the case. And he said that he was creating his own religion called Atonism, and that it's a religion. And they gave him hell for years for that back then. Now they're trying to say it's a religion. So this means we have to sift through the books in order to to sift out what's fact and what's fiction. That's what we have to do. And if you go to the Black Book Part 1, let me find that. If you go to the Black Book Part 1, it'll explain that okay. It'll explain that in the book, or this part 2. It'll explain in Black Book Part 1 that the books in and of itself is not the science of Nuwa, but that's something else, that people don't realize as well. But that's the main point. The misrepresentation of the information that not necessarily the change, because Nuwapu is growing and changing all the time, but it's not consistent with the facts. It's not consistent with the facts, and it's contradictory. You want to make it into a religion? Fine. I'm not rocking with it, period, because I know that it's not. And that's why them niggas is scared to come talk to me, scared to have a discussion with me, because I present the facts and I leave the emotions to the side. And that goes for everything else. He said it. He said from 2004 to now, people have been using the information, scamming the nation, taking donations, hoaxes and scams of each and every sort, false promises and false hopes that have led to nothing. From 2004 to now. How sad is that? I mean, look at it today. None of the people that's allegedly in power even make themselves accessible to the public. You can't ask them questions or nothing. So, that's all I'm saying. But another point I wanted to address real quick is a lot of people still confused. Unfortunately, a lot of people still confused about the teachings, the different school of thought, the Anunnaki, Neteru thing, and all this stuff. But one thing I want to point out is, and this is a very important point that we have to understand, is the books, as far as mistakes in the books or errors or contradictions, it's not really any contradictions in the book besides the fact of the different schools of thought we went through, which would explain the changes in tones and name, Anu versus Ra, or Neteru versus Anunnaki, etc., etc. But that's why it's important to have sound right reasoning, the ability to make sense. Remember, he said that he put these books together. He said he put this thing together like a puzzle. And we're supposed to take the pieces and put it together. His job is to present the information. That's what he said. He said the way I teach is I spat out information, and your job is to put the pieces together, put the puzzle pieces together, and do your own independent research in order to confirm it for yourself. Because if it's not real for you, then it's not real at all. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that real quick. Then I'll come back to this. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Yep. Boom. Listen now. Listen closely.
black book part 2 makes it very clear. It ties everything right up like I'm doing now and shows you the places to match it up. The way I teach is I spatter out information and want you to sit down and bring it together. I want you to be a part of the learning process and start just dictating you like you're not a God. You are a God, so you're responsible. When I put that info out there, you're responsible to take the pieces and put the puzzle together and then say, aha, I see that. Sometimes I say something and you say, I don't understand that. And you have to wait 6 months later, I'll walk back and start talking about that. There you go, that's the missing piece of that puzzle. That's my methodology. That's it. That makes you a part of the learning process, and therefore it makes it something that you know, not something that you were taught. Like education, all right?
Whew. Whew. If you ask the average Nuwapian or Sabian, what is the teaching process of the master teacher, they will not be able to answer that question. What is the particular teaching process? How, is there a method to his teaching? It's like, well, it came giving you what you want, so you learn to want. But no, they won't be able to explain it like that because they don't listen and pay attention. He said that the way I spatter out information is, excuse me, he said the way I teach is I spatter out information, and when I put this information out there, you are responsible for putting the pieces together. Research and cross-reference. That makes you a part of the learning process and not just being dictated. This makes it something you know and not something you've been taught. Do you understand that? Rahubat, Yasar, Rahubat, Anajeb, Nisaba, Daniel, Sophia, Karen, Anubu, Ramesu, Melvin Smith, Imis Yafu, Original Ruler, Assassin, Ray A, Henry Seti, Chris Neal, Melvin Smith, Jalal Pinkman, Khonsu, Atun, Rahubat, Yasar. I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to overstand this. I want you to overstand this. This is not a joke. This is a spiritual science. This is not a religion, dude. If it was a religion, he would never teach that way. Religions don't teach that way. Okay, let's find what we're looking for here. It's in the black book, the Taful. I got it wrote down somewhere. All right, I want to read this. What is your purpose? My purpose is to remove all misinformation and replace it with facts for the diligent inquirer, the true seeker, and the loyal. This is that key, Ankh, which will open the domain of all truths, Nuwabu. You possess that key, for the key doesn't open the door. All right? Pay attention to that. Also, I gotta find it. It's I don't want to keep digging through this hole. But I'm gonna find it. But basically, what he's saying is the scroll. Basically what he said was, these scrolls itself is not the science of Nuwapu. The scrolls is not Nuwapu. The scrolls, the books, are stepping stones and information pamphlets, guidance to open your door and to prepare you for Nuwapu. Because that's why I say Nuwapu is not in a book. It can't just be confined to the books that Dr. Malachi York wrote. And he said that as well. As soon as I find it, I'm about to show you. Hold on. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's there. It's in the black book. I ain't got to waste time doing that. But, yeah, I just wanted to set the record straight on that, man. It's the misinformation needs to stop. The bullshit needs to stop. The division needs to stop. Just stop. Tell the truth. Be honest. Period. Stop lying to people. Stop coming up with scams. Stop trying to make the teachers into a religion. Stop changing the man's words. Stop. It's been too long. It's been too long, because I'm not gonna let it slide. And when I get things in order the way it needs to be, trust me, I am going to start pushing the teachings the way it really need to be pushed. Me and others, not just me. It's a lot of us. There's a lot of us. Cause one thing about me, I got receipts for everything I say. Period. Hold on. Photos. There we go. I'm about to find it. Just because I like proving my point. Yeah, this what we do is nothing to do with religion. It has nothing. We teach religion. We have listen. We explain religion. We went past those schools already. He said it. Why are they trying to still mix old schools of religion with this shit, with the teachings now? Why? It don't make no sense at all. That's what makes it look contradictory. All right, here we go. Hope I can find it. It's in the Black Book, Part 1. I got some jewels, boy. I got some heat back in the history of my Facebook page. I got some heat back here, going back here looking at all this. We already know what Nuwapu is. I ain't gonna bore y'all with that again, but I mean, unfortunately, some people still don't know. I mean, basic questions like that will baffle people. Okay, he moved us out of religion. We know that already. Right here. Got it. Boom! Alright. Black Book. This is the Black Book Part 2. Not Part 1, sorry. 379. Right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding are Nuwapu. And Nuwapu is the spiritual science of all woolly-haired people throughout the universe. Let me say that again. And Nuwapu is the spiritual science of all woolly-haired people throughout the universe. These scrolls are not the science Nuwapu itself. These scrolls are not the science Nuwapu itself, but the diligent reading, diligent study, and profound understanding of these scrolls will open the mind, tear down barriers, and qualify the mind for the universal science called Nuwapu in the ancient Egyptian order. Period. This means that the books are meant for you to expand. Remember, Nuwapu is the sacred spiritual science of all woolly-haired people all over the planet. It's not in a book. The books are meant to teach you and prepare you for this spiritual science. And with that, I say no more. I say no more. If anybody got any questions, I'll take some questions real quick. But other than that, that's it. What can you say to that? They had to make it a religion because they do not have the resources to call it a nation. Facts. My brother almost said that. Facts. Pops knows all who are with him and are serious beings, and those of whom are black devils. I disagree with that, brother Melvin. I don't think he does know. But yeah, that's it right there. So ain't nothing much you can say about that. Wadu.